It is Chris and Cole from the Team Cole Project, and sit back and enjoy this video. It's a compilation of all of the media that we've been lucky to receive. Our project has grown in ways we never thought imaginable, and we're so lucky and we're so blessed. So we hope you enjoy it.
And a deaf dog adopted from the South Jersey Regional Animal Shelter is now on a Cape crusade to teach students a lesson about acceptance. This is Cole and students from Menny's Elementary School in Vineland. Cole was adopted by Chris Hanna, a music teacher at the school. And when students heard that Cole was often passed over at the shelter because of his special needs, they wrote a story about him, and now it is a comic book. This week, Cole will visit hearing impaired students in the district to share his story.
An elementary school teacher from New Jersey brought a special friend with him to Philadelphia today to teach kids that are either hard of hearing or deaf the importance of inclusion. Chris Hanna rescued his dog, Cole, from a shelter. Hanna says he originally bought Cole to be an inspiration for his 10-year-old nephew who is also deaf. Hanna and Cole paid a visit to students at Clark Schools for Hearing and Speech in Logan today.
Seeing the smiles on these children's faces and hopefully just giving them a little sense of a feeling that just because there's something a little bit different, they're just like everybody else.
Well, Hanna let the kids hang out with Cole a little bit and also took some time to answer any questions they had about his inspirational pooch.
Aw, both of them loved it, kids and dog.
Yeah.
Well, we turned.
A special group of young people got a surprise visit today by an unlikely superhero, a dog on a mission to teach everyone it's okay to be different.
NBC 10's Eric Coleman has the story from Germantown.
They can come right up here.
As students entered this classroom, all eyes were on Cole, a cape-wearing, mask-wearing super dog of sorts, here to spread a message.
Cole has something very special about him that is special about a lot of you. Does anybody have an idea of what it might be?
Cole is deaf, and so are most of these students at the Clark Schools for Hearing and Speech in Germantown.
He loves children. He loves to be around people.
Chris Hanna adopted Cole when he was still a puppy, inspired by his nephew, who's also deaf. Cole has become a mascot, going to hospitals, nursing homes, and today, this integrated school for deaf children, where they listened intently to Hanna's comic book, The Adventures of Captain Cochlear and Maestro Mutt.
Captain Cochlear and Maestro Mutt rushed to the music room doors.
A message school leaders say students can never hear too often.
You can learn by looking at something, but to have the opportunity then to meet Cole, to pet Cole, to scratch his back, and Cole was so calm, he definitely is a superhero.
One who is teaching a very valuable lesson.
It was just great to see all these kids, and hopefully every one of them took a little piece from our story away with them.
They most certainly did. In fact, Hanna's own students, he is an elementary school music teacher, helped him write that comic book. He's hoping it also helps to raise awareness about special needs.
The kind of story that's going to make your weekend. We kind of call it giving you the filler feels. It's the story of a deaf boy and his deaf dog that are working together to make the world a better place.
Hi, my name is Chris Hanna, and this is my puppy Cole and my nephew Kevin. I chose to adopt Cole because of my nephew Kevin, who was deaf, and when I logged on to the SPCA website, the first puppy that came up actually said special needs, and then when I clicked on it, the special need was deaf, and I thought this is absolutely perfect. So they kind of became really good friends right away, and they get themselves in some trouble, but they like to have a lot of fun together. And Kevin teaches us the signs that we then transfer to teach Cole for his different commands and stuff that we do with him.
He's deaf and he can't hear us, so we have to sign to him, and it takes a lot longer than what human signing does.
So Cole has a very special relationship with my students. He comes to school quite often. Cole gives a lot of inspiration to kids who feel a little bit different. He helps them realize that just because you have a disability doesn't mean you can't do anything you want to do. He does reading therapy with students who struggle with reading. They spend some time with him, just sit with him, cuddle with him while they read, and it really helps their ability to persevere through challenges. Sometimes students nowadays are afraid to open up and be creative because they're worried about judgment, and Cole has kind of helped them get over that. So the comic book originally was kind of just a brainstorm idea, and then I ran it across my students, and then one class just started brainstorming. They had all these wonderful ideas about this comic book about my deaf nephew and my deaf dog, and then the next group I presented it to added on to it. So then it just kind of coming together more and more, and then next thing you know, the comic book was finished. So right now we have one edition. It's called The Adventures of Captain Cochlear and Maestro Mutt, Episode 1, The Wrath of Dr. Fear. But Kevin and I have started brainstorming some ideas for part 2 already. It kind of hits home with a lot of my students. It's about a little girl named Annie who is super shy because she has partial hearing loss, and her voice sounds different than everybody else. And she's very, very shy to sing in front of her classmates. So this Dr. Fear, who is their music teacher, is constantly trying to get her to sing all by herself, and she just develops this awful anxiety about singing in front of other people. But her dream is to perform on stage and to be a singer. So Captain Cochlear and Maestro Mutt come through and they constantly rescue Annie from these challenges and these obstacles of Dr. Fear, and eventually they overtake her, and she stands up and she sings louder than anyone has ever heard before. And then next thing you know, she's auditioned for her school play and she gets a lead, so she got to live her dream. So the Team Cole project was developed to teach awareness and acceptance, not just of special needs animals, but special needs children. But most of all, we want kids to realize that you can be who you are, and everyone will accept you for who you really are.
Some people may be different, but it doesn't matter who they are on the outside, it matters in the inside.
We've been lucky enough to go around to schools to tell our story, to talk about discrimination. Cole's faced a lot of discrimination because of his breed. Families didn't even want to adopt this dog just because of the fact he was deaf. So we just want to bring awareness and teach kids that they can be their own superhero. It doesn't matter what everybody else is going to think. It's all about what they are and who they want to become. From the Team Cole project, thanks for watching Weekend Filler.
A four-legged friend walks the halls of a Vineland elementary school each day, side by side with his favorite pals. But what makes this rescue pup so special isn't just that he is a trained therapy dog. Cole is able to provide support to those in need after overcoming a major obstacle of his own. Our Nina Contento sat down with Cole and his owner to learn how he is inspiring students and community members from all over to believe that anything is possible.
Cole was picked up by the SPCA when he was just 4 months old. Typically, little puppies with large floppy ears and big paws are first to go at a shelter, but Cole's case was different.
Nobody wanted to adopt him. He had so many families to come to see him and they wouldn't adopt him.
And that's because Cole is deaf. Little did he know the right home would change his life forever.
My nephew is my inspiration kind of behind the whole idea because he is deaf.
Hannah wanted to show his nephew that there are others just like him.
But then I realized that we can help every kind of kid feel a certain way and to improve the way they feel about themselves and their confidence. Our biggest thing is giving kids confidence to be creative and to just think outside the box and to just be whoever they really are.
Hannah is the music teacher at Dr. William Many School in Vineland. Shortly after he adopted Cole, he started bringing the pup around his students. It wasn't until after he saw their response that he knew Cole was something special. Under that coat of fur, many students will say are hidden superpowers.
He makes me feel comfortable. He makes me feel like sort of like safe.
The way that the students were responding to Cole being in the room, their creativity was peaked in ways that I hadn't seen before.
And that's what began the Team Cole project.
In the Team Cole project, we talk about loving someone even though they have something different about them. So the idea of Cole being deaf or the idea of my nephew being deaf, they're loved and can be loved just like anybody else or anything else, really.
Cole and Hannah work one-on-one with students who may be shy or lacking confidence in themselves. They'll read or even sing songs to Cole.
Even though they know deep down he can't hear them, but I think that's why they kind of open up, because he's not going to judge them.
Cole can also be found helping outside of school at veterans' homes, hospitals, and many other places. Tomorrow night at 5:30 right here at the Dr. Many School, the Team Cole project will be hosting an assembly to let the community know what their mission is, as well as raise money for the SPCA. The event is open to the public. I'm Nina Contento for S&J Today.
I just want to take Cole home. I think everybody here does. He is just adorable.
All right, coming up next on Action News at 9:30, a pit bull making a big difference inside the classroom. We're going to introduce you to Cole, whose incredible sign language skills are teaching children that everyone should be accepted. And still 9:40 is your time. A teacher in New Jersey is taking huge steps to show his young students that everyone is different, including dogs. And today's Shelter Me, Gina Gannon introduces you to Cole, a deaf pit bull who learns sign language while making a difference in classrooms all across the state.
We're teaching the kids how to sign in ASL, good morning to Cole.
Cole is no ordinary pit bull. He's a superhero with a disability. Cole is deaf.
All of these kids kind of have a special relationship with Cole. They're sort of Cole's helpers.
He makes me happy.
So reach your hand out like that and get a shake. There you go.
Chris Hanna is the music teacher at Dr. Many's Elementary School and the founder of the Team Cole Project.
Good job, buddy.
Chris adopted Cole from the South Jersey Regional Animal Shelter 2 years ago.
He kind of couldn't get adopted as a little 4-month-old puppy because of the fact that he was born deaf.
For Chris, Cole's story struck a chord.
I have a deaf nephew as well, and I wanted Kevin to see that there are other things in this world that are just like him.
Now, Cole joins Chris at school 5 days a week.
We travel to schools all over the tri-state area speaking about our story and story about acceptance and discrimination.
He starred in a comic book.
All about my deaf nephew and my deaf dog as superheroes.
He also has a coloring book and has been honored by the Philly Fanatic and is the official mascot at the Veterans Memorial Home in Vineland, where he's an avid bowler.
His high score is 147.
One of the project's goals is to assist children who are deaf in getting cochlear implants.
Ears, soft ears.
He just brings out an inspiration to kids.
Michael.
Denny, why don't you tell us about this? I saw the email come through. The report. We just talked to Cole, the deaf dog, and his owner. I'm like, what is this?
I know. When you first see it in an email or even like a tweet, it's a story that's been going viral. You kind of scratch your head like, wait, what does this mean? Well, Cole is a deaf dog, certified deaf dog who, prior to coronavirus, actually his dog dad, Chris Hanna, a music teacher in New Jersey, would bring Cole around like students as a way to promote a message about, that an inability is not a disability. And so he felt like amid this crazy time we're living in right now, it would be more important and valuable than ever to bring Cole around to students, to disabled people, to elderly, just driving by to kind of lift their spirits and keep his message going. We actually spoke with Chris Hanna, who told us what Cole, the dog, means to kids, especially during these hard times. Take a look.
He's kind of a rock to them. We've been doing, this is our second school year that we've been bringing him every day. And they look at him as a symbol of hope. We talk about his story, about disability, about breed discrimination, and they look at him as a symbol of hope. Of they can conquer things, they can persevere through a lot. And then when this whole thing started happening, it was so important that they stay in contact with him as that symbol, especially now because they need him more than ever.
Does that not tug at your heartstrings a little?
There have been so many different things I've been seeing where I'm kind of surprised by my own reaction to them. You mentioned this when we were talking yesterday. I think our emotions are a little more at the forefront of who we all are right now. And it can be a good thing in moments like this. So I'm grateful that we have people uplifting.
And you see so many celebrities and other people and just people in general starting to foster animals, especially now that they're at home. And, you know, especially those people, I think about the people who are by themselves, or in, like, you know, Cole's case, he's visiting these hospice care centers, these elderly folk who are by themselves. And of course, with the coronavirus, it's actually forcing people to be distant physically away from their loved ones. So loved ones can't even go visit their elderly family, like in these homes. And so I'm loving that there's like these puppies kind of curb that.
Kids out of school in a Cumberland County community aren't getting to spend time with a calming companion as they normally do. So their beloved friend has been coming to them. NBC 10's Ted Greenberg is live in our Jersey Shore bureau with this story. Fill us in on this one, Ted.
Well, Jackie, Cole is a special dog who helps hundreds of kids at a school in Vineland learn about empathy and compassion. Their lives have certainly been changed in a big way because of the coronavirus pandemic, but thanks to some creativity, Cole is still connected. He can't hear their elation. But Cole, the deaf therapy dog, can certainly see the excitement he's bringing to these kids in Vineland.
I made a promise to them that I will find a way during this school shutdown for you guys to be able to see Cole.
So Cole's been doing drive-by visits with his owner, Chris Hanna, a music teacher at Menny's Elementary School. The students are used to seeing the 3-year-old pit bull mix in school every day, an inspirational and comforting presence, especially helpful for kids with anxiety.
At this time where it's a lot of uncertainty for these kids, the comfort that just seeing Cole slowly drive by with his paws out the window and them waving, it puts them at ease. It's so rewarding because I know that I'm still in touch with all of my students.
If you see an empty canvas, say something with your brush.
Students also now getting to join Cole and Chris for bedtime stories and virtual visits on Cole's YouTube channel.
We just talk about what's going on, and we talk about feelings, and it's okay to feel certain ways.
A special dog bringing smiles from on the move while maintaining a connection with kids, thrilled to see Cole is still there for them. Cole also regularly visits residents of the New Jersey Veterans Memorial Home in Vineland. This week he walked around the building so they could still see him from the windows. Live in our Jersey Shore bureau, I'm Ted Greenberg, NBC 10 News.
Very good. Love that. Ted, thank you.
The day before our school shut down, I could tell there was something a little bit different about my students, the way that they were more quiet, they weren't as interactive, and you could tell that something's weighing on them. I realized that Cole was going to be missed. I can't let them down when it comes to Cole. They need him the most right now. By doing our drive-by visits throughout all the neighborhoods, we're hoping that we can keep them inspired and to realize that we can persevere and get through this, and we will. As we go down, there are posters that the kids put in their front doors. We've seen driveways that are fully chalked with Cole's name. We've seen front doors from the top to bottom with Cole stuff. They miss him, and every time we saw one of our kids, his ears perk up. There's a lot riding on our shoulders right now, but we thrive on it, and we know that we can make a difference in the community. Cole is a 3-year-old pit bull mix that was born deaf. We adopted him when he was about 4.5 months old. Since then, Cole's become a registered therapy dog. He comes to my school 5 days a week. He's also the mascot of the New Jersey Veterans Memorial Home, and he is also a hospice therapy dog. The biggest challenge with a deaf dog is being able to get their eyes on you so you can communicate with them. They rely on their hands and your facial expressions. Teaching Cole to keep his eyes on me was very, very easy. Even as a puppy, Cole always had his eyes glued on me. I'm a music teacher. After getting Cole certified to be a therapy dog, I approached my administration about making the Team Cole project happen every day in our school. So last school year, we started bringing him every single day. The Team Cole project is for us to inspire children to accept people or animals that might be a little bit different. But it's also about spreading kindness. By talking to them about Cole and talking to them about what it's like to have a disability, because it's through the eyes of a dog they're starting to understand more. they're starting to open themselves up for these incredible conversations. And they started to show me that they're learning about empathy, which is a really, really difficult thing to teach. So I realized that Cole was having a very big impact on my students. It's just been an amazing journey with this little puppy that no one wanted to adopt just because, you know, he was deemed broken. Every morning after morning announcements, we have a virtual visit so the kids can log on to our YouTube channel and they can visit Cole. Sometimes in those visits, we talk about feelings and we talk about what it is that maybe is inside your heart during this time, or maybe you feel anxious, or maybe you're happy, and it's okay to talk about those feelings. Today, we're going to read a book called We're All Wonders. I think we do bedtime stories with Cole. So every night, the kids can log on after about 7 o'clock and they can see another book that Cole and I read to them on our YouTube channel, just to kind of put their mind at ease. Hi everybody, it's Chris and Cole here. We are in the Cole-mobile and we are ready to go pay some visits in a kind of a special way. We're going to be driving around all the neighborhoods for my students, so we want to be able to drive by, give them a wave, and give them a chance to see Cole. For our hospice patients, we're unable to see them, so we send them video messages every day. My life has completely changed since Cole's entered my life. I've learned so much through him about perseverance, about empathy, about compassion. It's been such an amazing experience to see what joy a little dog that had a disability that nobody wanted to adopt, what kind of joy he can bring to the world.
And this morning, a pet of the week we can't wait to introduce you to. 3-year-old Cole. He's a certified therapy dog. How he's helping so many right now. As we say, good morning, America.
Pet of the week. You guys know we do this every week. We want to celebrate some of our past winners. And we also want to introduce you to our new pet of the week. This is Cole, you guys, a hardworking rescue pup who's making a difference in his community with his amazing superpower. Take a look.
He was born deaf, but what is so special about Cole is that it's not a disability to him.
As a certified therapy dog, Cole is an inspirational force in his community for veterans and hospice patients alike.
Because of his calm, even disposition, he can really just bring a lot of joy to someone struggling.
In 2018, Cole's human, Chris, an elementary school music teacher in New Jersey, started the Team Cole Project. Together, they traveled across the tri-state area doing assemblies on acceptance, empathy, and discrimination.
Cole's inability to hear has actually become a superpower of sorts in a way that he can help inspire children with disabilities or children who feel a little bit different.
Now, in these times of uncertainty, from a distance, Cole is still providing that same comfort to the young and young at heart by checking in virtually. A new normal to help keep his students connected to their favorite four-legged friend.
It makes all of this work and all of this time and dedication so worth it, because we know that we're making a difference in somebody's life, and that's you can't put a price on that.
No, you can't. You cannot put a price on that. Our thanks to Cole and to Chris. I think we have a shot now of Cole wearing his very deserving medal. Thanks to both of you guys for spreading joy in your community. And we'll have a new pet of the week next week.
Up next, you don't want to miss a truly heartwarming story about a pit bull. It makes me cry because my own sweet girl Isabel, hi honey, a pit bull whose disability literally became his superpower. You're going to meet that animal right after this. So I find this story particularly moving because I'm the proud family member of a pit bull. My Isabel is about 15 years old. And she has certainly changed the course of my life. And I can say to everyone, if you don't have an animal in yours, you'll become a better human if you bring one home. This next story proves that. It's about a teacher from New Jersey. He and his four-legged friend have taken huge steps in their community together, and they've changed the course of life in their community. Check it out.
Yes. My name is Chris Hanna, and this is my best buddy, Cole. I'm an elementary school music teacher in Vineland, New Jersey. About 2.5 years ago, I adopted Cole. This puppy was born deaf.
Can you lay down, sweetie? Can you lay down? Yes.
When I first met Cole, it immediately made me think of my nephew. Kevin was also born deaf, and he's my inspiration. I started bringing Cole around as a puppy with my students, and I started to notice something about them. I started to notice compassion. They started to understand the fact that just because he has a disability, he's actually very, very special and just like any other dog. In fact, sometimes his disability became his superpower. He's inspiring them in ways that I never thought a dog could. So we came up with called the Team Cole Project. The Team Cole Project works with students in large groups, small groups, on teaching children to accept each other just the way that they are. One of the big things that they've come to realize that a disability is not an inability. Along with being a full-time therapy dog in my school, Cole is actually a mascot of a local veterans home here. And seeing the joy that Cole brings to these senior veterans has been an unbelievable, rewarding experience. We're going to keep showing the world that it could be a kinder place, that people can accept each other just the way that they are.
Hi, Cole. Hi, baby. I love that he speaks sign language. I learned sign language when I was a little girl in elementary school. I don't know where to begin. How has Cole changed your life as a human?
He's honestly, not only his disability, but even his struggles with his breed have just made me want to be a better person.
Yeah.
It made me want to be a better teacher. I realized that seeing people like my nephew, who he is and he loves who he is.
Right.
And when I would tell my students the story of Cole and their similarities, all of a sudden they started to understand that they can be different.
Because every child feels awkward and that they don't fit in one way. Look at this baby. Oh, I gotta get down on the ground. Can you share with everybody a few simple signs that you use with Cole?
Sure. So, Cole, stand up. Very good boy. Can you lay down for Daddy? Yes. You stand up? Very good. Speak to me. Yes. Thank you.
I find it ironic that you're a music teacher and that probably prior to Cole, sound was the most important thing in your life.
True.
And because of Cole, silence is now pretty good too, huh?
It really is. He's actually named from the movie Mr. Holland's Opus.
That's right. That's right. You're so beautiful.
Such a good boy.
So, our brand is named Nutrish. It has raised $36 million and counting for non-kill shelters, large and small. And everything we have, every diet he needs for the rest of his life, Cole's only 3. You have Nutrish for life and my devotion for life.
Thank you so much.
Please stay in touch.
Absolutely.
I'd love to show up at some of your events with Cole and freak people out. It'd be really fun. I think that Cole is very, very, very special and you're a great dad.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Cole and Chris and all of our guests today. We'll see you everybody. Bye-bye.